All right, Hakeem, I think we live, buddy. I think we live, Hakeem. Oh, oh, yeah. Let me get that thumbnail set up. We got Hakeem in the building. Hakeem, the prince of the Sabian Empire. Sabian Empire. The Sabian Moors. Oh, yeah. We see everybody. It's a lot of topics out here. A lot of people. I listen to a lot of people on these topics. But I bet you they ain't finna drop it like the Young Girls gang, baby. You know how we do it. We're gonna get ready to share our screen in a minute. Let me get that thumbnail loaded up. Oh yeah, it's about to go down. We dropping non-stop bangers straight at you non-stop, Young Girls gang. This is that morning class. We told you we were gonna get you today. We got another banger for you today. The journey, we was gonna call it Brokeback Mountain, but they might get mad about that. We was gonna call it Brokeback Mountain. Journey from Brokeback Mountain. Oh yeah. Never have it been made so clear. No more time for your leaders and preachers and piece of people that don't know how to lead. Yeah, I like that. And people that don't know how to lead. The master teacher has, they be dropping that at the front of some of the master teacher tapes. Oh yeah, Journey from Caucasus Mountain. It's time to unlock the secrets and the truth. Never have it been made so clear. Get them in. Tell them a young girl to lie for that morning class. Oh yeah, let me get the chat pulled up. Oh yeah, let me share my screen. We about to bring it all to you. Oh yeah, Cannon. Hold them up. Let me get that chat loaded up. Cause it's different types of Caucasus. We about to get ready to break it down for you, man. Young girl again, get in the building. Let me get that chat pulled up. Never have it been made so clear. We breaking the whole story to you. We giving it to you raw. We giving it to you raw, bro. We got this, Bible. Oh yeah. We're getting that chat pulled up. Give me a second. Now we can rock and roll, baby. Yeah, we got Hakeem in the back, man. Prince Hakeem. And it's gold raw braid. Now it's go down almost to it's long. It's real long. We're gonna probably show you Hakeem on another tape. But right now, he laying low. He laying low. He chilling. Eating some nanas. His favorite fruit, nanas. All right, so now we finna get this shit cracking, man, because you know we don't play around. We hit you with nothing but punchlines. A lot of niggas rap, and they may have one or two punchlines in they 16 balls. But we hit you with 16 punchlines and 16 balls. You know what I'm saying? We hit you with 16 punchlines. We ain't missing you. Right? So first we're gonna talk about this, man. So the first type of, and I keep in mind when we say white people, that term is really not a race. It's not a species, really. It's not. It's just a classification or a title to give a different status to certain people, right? So we Moors, we know that. So we're just gonna be using the term white because that's what you Nubians over here have been calling these people, and we're gonna make that clear too. But we're gonna show you who these people really are, because not white people. White people are really not white people. They're not really white people. We're about to break all that down. And we entitled this tape Johnny from Caucasus Mountains. We might have to blow that. We're gonna blow that picture up for you though. We're gonna have all the pictures blowed up for you. Can y'all hear me out there, man? Am I clear? Okay, we here. We here. Okay, all right, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, let me show you this first. All right, so and we're gonna tie since we got some Bible guys in here, because I've been having a lot of Bible guys coming at me. So we're gonna teach what they call the Holy Spirit. So what we mean by that is we're gonna talk to everybody, to Christians, Jews, Hebrews, Egyptian people, no, all of the whole community. We talking to the whole community. So when we talking, we're gonna be tying everything in together, like Tahuti said. We tying everybody in together. All of it is one. So we're gonna be so don't get mad when we quote a Bible scripture or something for our Christians, right? So we can talk to them. We quote the Quran or something like that, because these are different perspectives. So we're just giving you the different perspectives, and you don't gotta accept it, those perspectives. You just say, okay, I see what he's saying, right? So for all my people that's up to speed, because we got different people on different levels that's watching our tapes, right? We got different people on different levels. All right. So what we got started? So you know about Yaku's drafted beings, right? Yaku's drafted beings are the Fugal Lords. Let's blow them up. People's asking about the Fugal Lords. They were drafted really out of the Hindus. Now, what species of Hindu they were drafted out of? And keep in mind, there were two different experiments on drafting white people. There were what you call white people. There was the Yaku experiment, and then there was another experiment done by the Moors in Argentina, where they captured people from these Neanderthal people from Australia and took them over to Argentina and began breeding them just like Yaku. You know how like how you gotta make this noise, boy. What you gotta say? We're gonna give you the mic then. Passing the mic. See what he got. Come on, go ahead. Say what you gotta say. Hakeem, say what you're gonna say. You don't want to talk now. You just want to talk when your daddy talking. We got Hakeem in the building, y'all. So it was two different experiments, one done in Argentina by the Moors, where they captured beings from the Aborigines, man, that has the monkey DNA. They captured him from Australia and started taking him to Argentina, and they were doing a breeding process there. We're about to get into that too. But the Fugal Lords is Yaku's drafted beings from the Hindus. That's why they got the straight hair. And this was the genetics from the Asiatic black man, drafted from the Asiatic black man. And then these people end up going to the caves. All right. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit that bell. And if you don't see something from us every day, if you don't get a notification from us every day, come back and check with us. We drop something every day. If you want to show us some love, don't do the super chat. send us a donation, do the Cash App. We take $1, $5, $10, whatever you got. And if you want to put your brother in the game for real, send him $100. Put me all the way in the game for real. Tell him. All right. Let's go. So we talk about Yaku's drafted beings. And they were blonde, had blue eyes, the same thing as Adolf Hitler's Aryan species. The blonde had blue eyes. So keep in mind, the real Caucasians have blonde hair and blue eyes. Not everybody is a Caucasian. The real people of Yaku got blonde hair and blue eyes. The Aryans stock, the good stock, Hakeem, the Aryan stock is blue eyes and blonde hair. Okay. Now, there's another, this is one species of what you call them white folks. This is one species. Like I said, they're not really white folks. We already explained it at the beginning of the tape for all my Moors that's coming in late. But this is one species, the original blonde hair and blue-eyed beings. All right. Now you got another species of what you calling white folks, but they really not even, they're not white folks, they Nubians. All right, let me show you. And they come from a being, if you want to go to talk about the Bible, they come from a being called Canaan. All right. So they Nubian, these beings are Nubians, but see, so you see the hair texture. He Nubian, but he lacking in melanin. He lacking the melanin. The melanin ain't firing off right in the pineal gland and distributing through the body. So their melanin content is low. And so this created another species called albinos. Now let me show you some pictures of these people. All right, so she's an albino. See, you got the blonde hair. Now, it make mention of these people in the Bible. Where it says they had yellow thin hair. It's like it's Leviticus chapter 30, 33, 34. And them two scriptures, two verses right there. 30, I think it's 33:30. I think that's what it is. 33:30 or 30:33. And it's in between 30 and 34, the chapter 34, where they talk about the Canaanites and the leprosy. Right. But these type of beings, these type of beings don't, not all of them were pronounced unclean. The ones that had the red spots were the ones that was pronounced unclean. These beings don't really get the red spots. These albinos. Stop, Hakeem. All right, let me show you some more albinos. We're gonna talk about the people with the freckles too. Right, the people with the freckles. You know some people like that. Those freckles really is because of the melanin. Their skin cells don't distribute the melanin evenly through the body, so they just get these freckles. Right, these really are another type of species. We're gonna talk about that too, but they still Nubians, the people you see with this freckles like that, and it's coming from the Moors mixing in. We're gonna talk about that too in Ireland. All right, I want to show you some more albinos. This is another type of species. These people are not white folks, or what you calling white folks, right? It's in Africa. He's an African, born to some Africans. He's an African born to some Africans, but he an albino. You see his hair texture. Now you see his hair texture. Right? Hakeem, drink that juice. Hey, you see his hair texture. So he's an albino though. But the melanin, the pigmentation of his skin is lacking because of the melanin, right? But he an albino, he an African. Yeah, see the freckles are because like I say, the cells in the skin cells don't evenly. They getting the melanin, but the skin cells don't evenly distribute the melanin around the body in these particular people. So we're gonna get into that. That's dealing with the so you see a lot of people. You might see some Nubians with freckles, and you see more lighter skinned people with freckles. We're gonna talk about that too. Okay, all right. Let's go. Let's show you some more. One more albino, so you can get so you get that idea in your head. That's these are the Canaanites are the albinos. They are Nubian people who look what you might think they white. And some of these people mixed in with the Frugaloids, and some of them mixed in back with the regular Nubians. All right, like this chick right here, she really albino. This chick over here mixed back in. You see? Now she ain't no albino because you can look at her hair, okay? But she like an albino mixed in with the Frugaloids, okay? So because the albinos, keep in mind the albinos mixed in with the Frugaloids. So the hair textures are what giveaway. See, okay, so you see her hair texture, it's more of a furry hair texture. But these people, like I'm showing you, hold on. So keep in mind when you look at the albinos too, also at the hair texture. All right, hold on. Let me show you. Stop, Hakeem. Why you messing with me, man? Oh, yeah, baby. We got something for you today. All right, so you see the hair texture when you're looking at albinos. So these are albinos mixed with Frugaloids. You can tell from the hair texture. They're not the original Canaanites, but they mix with Canaanite. Okay? Let me show you again. Let me show you one more picture of the hair difference. All right, keep in mind about the hair difference. The eye color is another thing. Eye color is another thing you can look at when you're studying the genetics of our people. Some people over here with hazel eyes. That's a Pacific tribe. Hazel eyes is the tribe of Zozo. That's Zozo people. They come from the same descendants as Zozo. All right. It's a dude named my partner, right? My partner out of South Memphis, white folks. You might have heard of him on the internet. He like one of the #1 sensations on the internet. White folks is really a Canaanite. He really albino. That's why he in the hood. Everybody know him. He really got black. His kids had black. Or what you call it, black, right? He married to a black woman. He hang out in the hood, right? Like, go look them up, man. White folk, and listen to them talk. See, that's the gay giveaway. How you know who these people are? The Canaanites. You listen to him talk to, oh, he a nigga, man. He an albino nigga. That's what he is, man. He really ain't white. Or you can say he white if you want to base the status off based off status. But I'm saying, like, for the term, he really an albino. He a Canaanite. And it's a whole bunch of more. So, and some of the Canaanites are mixed with black, like Justin Bieber. You can tell he mixed in with he got the spray hair, right? But he more Canaanite than anything. That's why he can sing like that. That's why he sound like that. How you find out is when you judge him, like Martin Luther King said, from the content of the character. So you judge the spirit. It says, and even in the Bible, it says, test the spirit by the spirit. So, like, if you test people's spirit and then you listen to them talk, you can say, oh, this dude is a nigga, man. I can just listen to them talk and say that he just look white. You know, so it's a lot of Canaanites out here like that. I'm gonna show you a couple more. Oh shit, Hakeem, bro. You cut the damn show off, bro. This dude just cut the damn show off, bro. Hold up. The show still going? Man, I'm glad this dude didn't cut it off, bro. God, dog, you gotta stop touching stuff, Hakeem. All right, let me keep going, man. My bad, bro. So, like Eminem, right? Eminem, you can look at him. He a Canaanite. He's an albino. That's why you can listen to him talk and do this and that. And he sound like some of the albinos got the hair because they mixed in back in with the Frugaloids or the Hindus or Pacific race, right? So you can look at them, but you can listen to them talk is how you find out who they really are. You listen to the spirit of the being. All right. Let's see what else we want to show you. All right, this is what it says right here on freckles. What causes freckles? Freckles appear when the melanin, the dark pigment in the skin, isn't distributed evenly. Right, so you see the red hair and the freckles, and she got like some stone blue eyes, I think, right? Got these red heads, and so and a group of beings came here. This redhead, it's a group coming from a group of beings, another Caucasian race that came here called the Aldebarans, and they were redhead. Some of them had dark hair too. Once they came to Earth and started mixing in with other species, so they called the Aldebarans. And we showed you on that galactical tape. I think it's Reality of the Universe, where we took you to the Aldebaran star system. And these people actually come out of the Proconians. These people actually come out of the Proconians. Right, the Proconians, so they really albinos too. These people right here really albinos too, but they come from the Proconians mixing with the Hindus, and then being under that sun, the albino race was born there, and then they created these beings here. So these beings really albinos too, but they really come from the Proconians or the Hindus side too, like the Frugaloids. So both species are origin from the Aldebarans and the Frugaloids, origin from the Hindus, right? Both species. All right, Hakeem, be cool, baby. Be cool, little baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Hey, appreciate that. Kiwis. That's my saying his name, right? For the $1 donation, brother. Peace and love. Hakeem, you gotta let me do this, brother. You gotta let me do this. All right, so that's another species. Here go another Canaanite. Here go another Canaanite. Here go another Canaanite. All right, you can tell. Look at the hair texture. All right, so this another species, but it's really she really Nubian. She really Nubian, and she really. That's why when Elijah Muhammad said that there's another gene inside of the Nubian, this the gene that he was talking about. It was that albino gene, right? He said because he said that on that tape with Yaqub, with the Elijah Muhammad talking, he said that this master or this God, which was a scientist, and they consider God the person that had the most knowledge, like a nigga that had a lot of knowledge. That's what he meant when he said that we consider this dude as God. Well, he was a dude that had a lot of knowledge because he had a big ass head, right? Two sides of 2-3 men. But the gene that he found inside of the black man, which was the Hindus, was that albino gene. And then so he pulled it out of them too. He pulled the albino gene out and he split it and started mixing the albino gene together. That's how he come about with these Frugaloids. But the Frugaloids are a different species from these beings. Why? Because these beings are really Nubians. That's why they hair texture. That's how you could tell from the hair texture. But it's some of them that got straight hair too, but they still albinos, like Eminem and Justin Biebers and the Justin Timberlakes and the Britney Spears, the people who think they white, but they really niggas. I'm telling you, man. Look at this brother right here. I think this dude right here, that dude could play. No, that ain't him though. He look like that dude on that movie, that series that Dare be watching. It's called Black Lightning. I'll be watching it with him. This dude called, I forgot what that dude's calling that, but yeah, Tobias. Tobias. He like supposed to be like the evil villain in that joint. I like Tobias. I like Tobias. Oh yeah. But this is albino. Look at the hair texture. Look at the hair texture. He Nubian. Right? Okay, that's another species. And this is the species that they talking about in the Bible when they say Canaan. Canaan is albino according to their book. They had leprosy. The ones that was unclean was the ones that was really defected, and they get these red spots on their skin. That's why they say leprosy. If you break the word down, leopards is dealing with spots. Roses are red. Roses are red. So you got red spots. That's what that word means. And so when you see the people with the red spots with the skin cancer, now you're dealing with leprosy. But these beings weren't leopards. They albinos. They niggas who the melanin didn't get down in them right. So and there's a whole bunch of them out here. Hold on, let me get this chat loaded back up because I thought can y'all hear me loud and clear, man? Out here, man. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. We're finna take you back to the Caucasus Mountain. We're gonna be introducing you to the different species of what they saying is really is white folks. Right? Take notes. This shit's about to go down. It's about to go up right here, bro. All right, so you got albinos, you got the Aldebarans, and then you got the Frugaloids. That's 3 different Caucasoid races. And then I think you got Baba said it was 3 Caucasoid races to start with in Holy Tablets. Now, I think I found one more, so it might have been 4 because the species that the Moors were working on, unless that was connected with the same experiment that Yaku's doing, because they did say that Yaku people continue the experiment. See, they told you that when Yaku died, that's what Elijah Muhammad said, right? And it's what Rob Haynes, and I think it's what Baba said in that Holy Tablets when I showed you the Yaku thing, right? It said Yaku continued to experiment. Yaku continued to experiment. So that experiment kept going on and on. So when I think he's talking about the Neanderthals or the 8-man type is dealing with those people, the Moors. Hold on, let me pull it up. The Moors. Oh yeah, I got it in this folder. All right, so the people that was in Russia. Hold on, let me pull up this map. Let me pull up this map for you. I got you. I'm gonna bring it all home. Journey from Caucasus Mountain. We kind of start in the beginning, then we're gonna go to the back part, then roll you back to the beginning. Right? Let me find that map. Okay, there you go, right there. All right, so the Moors. Let's rank this map. A little bit more, baby. Right there. All right, so the Moors was in control of the red areas of land. This was the British Empire, the Moorish Empire, right? Right? Now, it all starts before, it starts a little bit before all this land was like this, when these people called the Hyksos. The new species I'm gonna talk to you about is dealing with the Moors capturing people from Australia. These these ape-looking Aborigine people and taking them to Argentina and then keeping the Yaku experiment going. They kept the Yaku experiment going. These Moors, because they were part, keep in mind, the Moors is connected with the tribe of Shabazz. And let's go back to them Hindus that was that got into it with Yaku, but some of them Moors stayed, some of them Hindus stayed there and mixed in with people in Chaldea in them areas, right? Hold on, let me go. Oh yeah. Let's go back to the Hyksos first. Let's break this down. All right, so the Canaanites, some of them had different colors hair. And so some of them Canaanites, they go back to a group called the Hyksos people. They're really not Canaanite, they're really Hyksos people. The Hyksos, that's what we call them in ancient Kemet. And we call them, another word for them, we call them Tamahus. Tamahus in ancient Kemet, right? So these people end up getting out of the caves, and the Nubians always help them. The Nubians always help them. But they end up coming up out of the caves, and then eventually they work their way into ancient Kemet. To speed the story up, they worked their way into ancient Kemet, and they were goat herders. They were goat herders, right? Hold on, make sure the check caught up. They were goat herders who came into ancient Kemet out of the Caucasus Mountains. Because keep in mind, Canaan means lowlander. They live, these people, they lived when they got kicked out of the area out of ancient Kemet and all that. They lived in the lower part on Caucasus Mountains, by Caucasus Mountains. They went to live on the lower plains by Caucasus Mountains, right? Shout out Stephen Morgan, man. Shout out Priscilla for the donation. They lived on the lower part of Caucasus Mountains, right? Let me show you that map of Caucasus Mountains. Oh yeah, we getting up to it. Don't worry, baby. If you're sleeping on a young elder, you about to get a crook in your neck. You about to get a crook in your neck, baby. Chilling. All right, so okay, yeah, and I could draw on this joint. Oh heck yeah, this is it. All right, so the land of Canaan is coming from this way right here, right? When they got pushed out because we thought they were part, like they were, because to see an albino person, it was like they had a disease. These people didn't know back then that there were no contagious. They thought it was going around, like they could touch you and it could be a disease. And they even talk about it in the Bible. And if you read Leviticus and all that, it talks about that it comes out to say that this means to turn white, because it says they turn, like Moses, I think it's Exodus chapter 4. Moses stuck his hand in his bosom, then he pulled it out and it turned white. So leprosy means to turn white. Moses' sister Miriam got mad because he married an Ethiopian chick. Keep in mind, Ethiopians are Africans. Last time I checked, and Africans are Nubians. Last time I checked. So that means that he married a dark-skinned chick. Now, if Moses took his hand in his bosom and then he pulled it out, what color was it before then? If he stuck it in his hand and it was and then he pulled it out and it turned white, what color was it before then? If it turned white? And why are they making reference to this being what leprosy is? Why they, when Marianne got mad, I think this is in Exodus. I mean, it's in Exodus chapter 30 something, 34, where it says that she got God cursed her and turned her into a leprous. And it said, and then it goes in to say Caucasus. Matter of fact, let's pull it up, man. Let's stop playing around, man. Let's show you the game. Let's give you the game. I don't like going back, but we're gonna just, for our Christian guys, we're gonna point it out for you. We already did a tape on it called "Who Are the Canaanites." You got to go scroll back down on that tape, but all this tie in together. So the different people, white folks that we're talking about. Oh yeah, baby. We about to pull some of this, about to pull what the Christians call, pull the Christian sword out on these niggas, man. We're about to pull the Christian sword out on these niggas. The sword, baby. The two-headed sword. The word of God. God. Ah, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. It's about to get good. It's about to get good. Hold up. Search, baby. I'm going to search Bible. Let's see. I think it's that one. King James, yeah. Let's get it, baby. We're looking for Exodus. Okay, what's the key word that I can put in and go straight to it? White. Let's type in the word white. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're looking for. You can read this for yourself, man, but we're going to just show you a couple of key pieces. Leviticus 13, it says, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if its leopard has covered all the flesh, he shall be pronounced him clean that have the plague. It is all turned white. Keep in mind, let's type in the word white, man. You can get all this shit right here. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall be unto the priest, come unto the priest. So they talking about the skin cancer right here. They don't know what it is back then because they, these are primitive guys. They are primitive. We more advanced now. So they talking about these red spots, which is really the sun attacking these people. Some of these people, but the ones that the sun attacking, a lot of them not really, they're not really connected to the Canaanites. That's why they're saying there's one group that's clean and there's one group that's unclean. That's what Rob Haynes was saying last night, right? All right, let's get into it. You can read all about the white skin and all that right here, but let's get into it. I'm looking for a specific piece. I think it's Leviticus 30 and 13. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see it say right here. Hold up. Let's go to let's look at the Exodus. It's right here. It's right here, baby. The one with Mary and turned white. I see that one too, though. Where it says right here, and the cloud departed off the tabernacle. This is Numbers 12 and 10. And the cloud departed off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leopards, white as snow. So that they telling you right there that this leopards mean to turn white, right? But if you break the word down, it means really to turn red leopard spots. Leopards had spots, and the red rosy, leprosy means like the color of a rose is red. The original rose is red. Get the chat loaded up, see what's going on in the chat. Fall asleep here last night. Oh yeah, baby. Haru gone. Haru gone to school, brother. But you'll be amazed. White as snow. They always like to use that white as snow. That's how you can tell that it's from a whitewash perspective. They gotta he's white. Yeah, but those people really were Canaanites. In Leviticus 13:30, I think it talks about the yellow thin hair. Haru not here right now, Hakeem. All right, so you got these Hyksos. They're a bunch of goat herders. They really Canaanites. And they come into our land. And they have a ruler named Epaphras, who was named after, let me find that dude. So all it's gonna lead up to the journey from Caucasus Mountain. All right, it's all tight. That's why we named it there. All right. They were goat herders. And remember, we told you the Yakut thing, because you gotta keep in mind the Canaanites mixed in with the Frigolords, and they mixed in with the Aldebarans, and they mixed in with the Neanderthal Viking types that came from the Moors doing their experiment with them. They're trying to make a war. The Moors were trying to make a mercenary group, like a warrior group, the super warriors. So I'm gonna tell you, look. So the white folks think they're doing something new when they going to get Mike Tyson DNA and Bruce Lee DNA and all these different DNAs and mix them in together and try to make this super warrior. Now the Moors already did that in Argentina. They was going down there trying to make a mercenary group that could be a group of warriors to fight against other Moors. The dirty Moors were doing these. They were trying to get because they didn't want to get, like, Moors were some players. They were like niggas that they were like you the same niggas right now that y'all were back then, right? I just forgot. The Moors were some players. They didn't want to be all rolling on the dirt, rolling in the dirt and shit with some niggas. They had gold. They rocking gold chains and shit and sweatsuits just like you rocking now, right? With the hat, with the feather and shit in it. Let me show you. They was already some players back then. Let me show you. Pull up this picture right here. Look how them boys dress. Them boys is out. They got the earring, the chain. Look how they got gold chain. You niggas ain't doing that new when you rappers, when you want to go get a gold chain around. You niggas ain't doing that new. The Moors was already rocking those gold chains, nigga. Well, how you think you like doing it? Why you think you doing it now? Because it's in your DNA. It's in your mitochondrial DNA. It's your history. Look how them boy got them feathers jumping off in the hat, and look how them boy got the loop in the ear. That mean, because the players, you know, them players wear the loops. The players wear the loops, man. We got to blow it up for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's blow it up some more so you can see them boys, man. How clean them boys is. We got to blow it up for you. So they was already rocking chains and shit. They was already rocking earrings. They was already rocking pinky rings. They was already called the Macs, as in Macaroni Tony. Macaroni Tony's was already going. The Moors was already doing it, man. So you Bishop Dunn ones, they ain't doing nothing new, man. Look how he dressed. That's how the pimps dress now, with the capes and the canes and the Moors is already doing. They the first pimps. Moors are the first pimps. We got to get into that. We got to teach this all from the Majesties of America and a new book I got coming out called Journey from Caucasus Mountain. It's gonna come out too. Journey from Caucasus Mountain. We're gonna write one on that one. Hey, ride by if you're in the building, bro. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We about to put this down for you today, baby. We got some news for your ass today. All right, so the Moors, we're gonna get back to these Moors. Just keep in mind how they dress though. How this nigga got a chain with a crown or something on it right there. He got something on that chain. He rocking the gold chain, man. He rocking the gold bracelets. They dressed in the fine linen and the fine silk. Moors were the ones that was moving all the fashion was our shit. They got their swag from us. We was the first one doing fashion shows. See, like the dude in the middle, he got two Cuban links on. He got two Cuban links on, the dude in the middle. Let me blow it up for you. Like the dude in the middle got two goddamn Cuban links on, and the one over there got a Cuban link on. So you niggas ain't rocking nothing new, man. That shit is 1,000. Niggas been doing that shit for thousands of years, man. Niggas been rocking chains for thousands. We go back. Where do you think you got it from? Where do you think you got it from, my nigga? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So we're gonna get back to the Moors, because the Moors, by trying to be lazy, fucked us up. And by taking the devil all around the world and dropping them off on everybody's land, right? On land that they had a piece on. I'm gonna tell you how this shit gets started. But we're talking about the Hyksos. We're going back to the Hyksos. These are Canaanites who came into ancient Kemet, right? And they eventually got into it. The APAP, who was a dude that didn't wipe his ass after he got to taking the shit and wipe his hands and nothing. These people wasn't They kind of like, the hygiene wasn't all the way there. Right, the hygiene wasn't all the way there. We had the hygiene already, right? We was already wiping our ass, washing our ass. Ancient Egyptians always were taking baths. We loved taking baths. We wiped our ass. We had Angel Salt toilet paper back then. We was the first ones started to take that tree and make paper out of it. The ancient Egyptians been doing it. We had paper. That's how you think we was able to make so many copies of those books. How you think we had a print press? How you think we was making copies of books, and you can come to ancient Kemet and you can buy a copy of a book that somebody produced? We was mass production books. How you think Mansa Musa came to ancient Kemet and bought all those books and then took them back to which I consider still to be ancient Kemet, Timbuktu, and set up that school, right? Set up that school in Timbuktu and then start bringing, and then he also brought teachers and scholars and builders from ancient Kemet, right, to take them up into the West Africa to Timbuktu, so that with the Mali area, right, and so the Twaman, that's really Twaman land, really too, the Twaman land, the Mali, right, the Twaman all over. The Twaman was all over the planet. Twaman was all over the planet, bro. I can prove it. I might do a tape on that. Twaman was around the planet already. I'm telling you, Twaman was all over, just like the Nubians, which is a different species, but we all family because we mixed in. Okay, so Mansa Musa and them brought a whole bunch of books back from ancient Kemet. So we was making paper. We was doing mass production. We were printing. We had bookstores in ancient Kemet. So when you got a bookstore called All Eyes on Egypt, you right on point with our ancestors. We already had the books. We have different books, right, in ancient Kemet. Books on everything. Books on how to build helicopters. Books on, just like your library now. Like, God, we had the same books. Niggas already was doing it, right? But what happens is they come in. Let me find a picture of their ruler. They make like they took over Egypt. And they make like they was slaves for 400 years, but they really were slaves. We were paying these people, man. We were paying these people to work. They were trying to make some money so they could come up in the game and buy them some books, buy them the stuff that we was doing. Oh, let me pull up their leader. Here go their leader right here, a Papyrus, a nigga that didn't wipe his ass. So he came in, he was a ruler. To make a long story short, he got into it with the people in Upper Egypt, which really was the lower part in Tibet. He got into it with the ruler down there. These were Twaman. The Twaman really was the ruler. The Twaman really was the ruler. We looked at the Afar people and the other tribes looked at the Twaman as little gods because they were the ones that knew all the they had a lot of science. The Twaman had a lot of science. They were looked at like the gods. We as the Afar looked at them like little gods, so we protected them, and we were the best fighters. Ali is a damn Afar. He's a tribe of Shabazz. He's a Sabian. Ali is a Sabian. That's what we were the best fighters. We were the best warriors. Sabians are warriors, right? So this dude got pissed off at Sukhintare. To go back first, this dude wanted to get. We only let them go up to fellow craftsmen. When they came into ancient Kemet, we only gave them up to fellow craftsmen to be workers, to work worker bees, to really be slaves, to come in as slaves and do the work, really, right? But we didn't call them slaves. They just worked for us, and we worked the shit out of them, and we paid them. We paid them. Slaves got paid. What they were calling slaves, these people were getting paid. But they ruler, he was always trying to come after us to take over our land so they can expand. It's all about fertility. So he wanted to take over our land. He was up in Lower Egypt in Memphis, right? Let me pull up a map of that. Like you got a Memphis over here in America, and then it's a Memphis in Egypt. Just like it's a Cairo over here, and it's a Cairo in Egypt. Right? Oh, yeah. I'll show you a map. Oh, yeah, baby. Say that map. See, upper was really lower. All right, let me show you. I want to pull this up. Let's get it up in here. Let's get that map loaded up for you so we can talk to you about it. Oh, yeah. Suck it now. Yes, sir. We about to wake your ass up for the 2022, baby. Where is that picture? So they playing games, man. All right, we're gonna just look at it from that internet. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is real small. I'm gonna try to blow it up. All right, there we go. All right, so you see the land in ancient Kemet, right? Oh, yeah, baby. All right, this is Lower Egypt. So Upper Egypt was down like in South Africa. So Lower Egypt was in Upper Africa. So these Hyksos, when they came in from this land over here, I wish I had my arrow where I could draw. They came in from this land over here, from the right side, from the west. I mean, from the east. They came from the east and came down into Memphis and took over. So they make you think that the Hyksos took over the whole ancient Kemet. No, they only took over like one city. And you can see Cairo right here, right? You can see Cairo right up going up. And you see where the Giza Plateau at. You see where the Imhotep Pyramid. You see the Heliopolis, the City of Light. So you see all these different cities, but they only control Memphis. They weren't in control of the whole ancient Kemet like they produced. And so they was there, and then we was down like 700 miles down the Nile River, going back up to Upper Egypt. And so they wanted to take over that city, and they wanted to take over all our cities after that, but that wasn't gonna happen. So they ain't ever get past a certain 700 miles down the Nile to take over the rest of the cities, because we stopped them, Akhmos and Kakmos, the brothers. Because and it really started because they killed the Hyksos, killed their father. And that's really the real story of masonry. Hold on, let me pull up a skull. His name was Sukurik. Now, if I say his name wrong, forgive me. But because I ain't good with pronouncing these words. His name is Sukinti Ray To the second. That was Kakmos and Akhmos dead. And he may have another name that they call him in ancient Kemet. Right? Because sometimes those be like the Greek translation or something, right? So this is a skull of Sukinti Ray To, the pharaoh, who was a Twa man over the builders. See, the Twa man had the knowledge, man. I'm telling you. That's why that to go back to that papyrus or that particular thing on the wall where Norma was marching with the Twa man, and like he had a far dude with him holding something, because Norma was a Watusi, and then the dude that was in the middle, he was a far, and then it was a Twa man holding a placenta, and it was a Twa man holding some more instruments. We'll probably pull that picture up and show you. But this dude was a Twa man who was building a temple, and the Hyksos sent 3 assassins to get the master's password. They were called Ruffins. They call them Ruffins in the Masonic order. And they didn't get the Masonic password, so they killed this dude. And when they killed him, keep in mind the Hyksos had been in ancient Kemet up until this point about 430 years. About 430 years they've been in ancient Kemet, right? So Yeah, so they end up hitting this dude 3 times in the head, buried in his on the temple that he was building. They caught him on the east side, really knocked him out. And we got the skull right here. We got the skull of him. When you see the three knocks in his head, they hit him with a mallet, right? Show me Hiram Biff skull, nigga. Wait. Show me Hiram Biff skull if it was a damn Hiram Biff. They need to stop playing these games. The false, truth coming and false things will go. Show me fucking Hiram Biff skull, nigga. They can't even show you a bone. They can't even show a nigga a finger bone of show me a finger bone of Hiram Biff. You can't even show me that. Right? But we got this truth right here. This is this Pharaoh Sekhentire II, who got hit in the head 3 times by some damn Hyksos, so-called white folks, right? Who came into ancient Kemet to try to learn the craft, and we only gave him fellow craft. We only gave him 2 degrees. We only gave him 2 degrees. We never gave him the 3rd. We never gave him the 3rd. They made all that other shit up. Oh, since the map. So, and they tell you the story that when this master got killed, the password died with him. Like it wasn't no other masters in ancient Kemet. Like it wasn't no other masters in ancient Kemet. Man, these niggas, these Neanderthal brain, they Neanderthal brain just cut off at certain points. Like when they get to a certain level, just their brain short, so they can't go past a certain level of thinking, like the flat earth, like the flat world theory. There's people with short, their brain got a shortage in it. Niggas talking about that flat earth shit, right? All right, so yeah, this is the real nigga that got hit in the head by 3 Hyksos niggas. And we can drop their names on them, right? And so from this, the 2 sons got mad and they wanted to revenge their father, so they end up over time driving the Hyksos out. Now the older brother Cogmos, he ended up going to the grand, where he really got summoned to come to the Grand Lodge that his dad was building. And when what happens is the builders, they showed up to start the building, but before they build, they hold a meeting, and the master draw on the tassel board what he want laid out, and that for that day. So he got to lay out the work for the fellow craftsmen and the inner apprentice on the tassel board. But he didn't show up that day. So when he didn't show up, the secretary and the senior deacon called for Cogmos, and Cogmos came and showed up, and they asked him. They said, "Have you seen your father?" He said, "He usually be here every day." "Have you seen the master?" Right, the master, he usually be here every day. And Cogmos, they said, "No." Cogmos said, "I haven't seen him." And they said, "Well, he's missing." So Cogmos sent a search team to look for him. They searched the temple everywhere, up and down, around and around, but they couldn't find him. And then he ended up sending a team one west, one north, and one south to look for him. And somebody came back with a report from the west, which is why they say take him west to bound them in the east. Take them west, bury them in the west. That's why we in the west right now, right? Take them west to bound them in the east. All right, so eventually, to make a long story short, they couldn't find them, but they eventually found them, and Cogmos went got his body out of, but because they had to have it says it had to be a master with a strong group, we couldn't get him up. They eventually found the 3 ruffians too and executed them in a Masonic way. The 3 people. Cogmos found the 3 ruffians eventually because somebody snitched on them. They were trying to get a boat ride out of there, but they got caught and they killed them. And they said that, and they told, once they tortured them, they end up telling that Apapus, the ruler of the Hyksos, is the one that sent them. So that started a war in ancient Kemet. Once Cogmos got angry right then, and then he sent the Magi's, which is these beings right here, because he was a Twa man. right? He was a Twa man. And keep in mind, the soldiers were the Afar, which is why the Ga'uz, when they came here, they picked these warrior people to make their Jafar warriors. They tell you about that on the movie Stargate. Hold on, let me see if I got a picture of them. This might be in the ancient Egyptian tape. Oh yeah, baby. See, these people were the warriors. Okay, we're tying all of it in together for you. We're still talking about the journey from Caucasus Mountain. We're working up to this. It's probably gonna be a 2-hour long take because it's a lot. I'm leading up to the journey from Caucasus Mountain, but I got to break all this down for you. So these were the people. These are far people who were the warrior clan who studied the Mantu art form. They really were the first knights of Templar, or the first assassins, like the real assassins. These people would, and they wasn't no Rudy Poo just throwing spears and like they try to portray it right here. They really were advanced warriors, like Navy SEAL type warriors back then. Like they were like the Navy SEAL type warriors, right? They can swim and stay on the water for a long time. They can climb trees and balconies, climb on top of your balcony and take you out, right? They can hide under dirt or hide in little small spots. They were assassins. They were masters of guerrilla warfare and fight, and they ain't got to kick your ass with a spear, or they'll pull off the gloves and put the spear down and kick your ass with some kung fu or with some Mantu art, really is Mantu art form. They'll put some Mantu on your ass. So Cockmo sent these beans in on a Pappas, and it was a battle going on back and forth. A Pappas sent his assassins to try to kill Cockmos. Eventually, Cockmos got killed by Pappas people sending in, and then now his little brother, who was I think about around 13 or somewhere at the time, he rose up and took over his brother position because they killed his father, his older brother Cockmos, and then Akhmos, I think his name was I think it's the Akhmos the first or second. He rose up. All right, let me show you what he looked like. I pull up a statue of him. Oh yeah, we in the building. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button right now, man. We got 120 people in this joint. Everybody hit the like button right now for me, man. We just getting started. We warming up now, brother. We warming up. We just not warming up. If you want to show us some love, don't do the super chat. We putting the cash app in the links. We take $1, $10, $5, whatever you got. If you want to put your brother in the game for real, and put him up all over the game, send him $100. All right, so we're going back to that one tape. Hold on, I'm going to show you, man. We got a lot in this video. This video gonna probably be real long because there's a lot we got to go over, bro, to lead you up to the journey of Caucasus Mountains. All right, so let's get back in the Brokeback Mountain joint. All right, so we're gonna call this Brokeback Mountain. All right, so they chased the Hicks. They started fighting the Hyksos. All right, this is like a statue or a helmet of Sakenta Reto, the dude that got hit in the head, and then we showed you a real actual mummy skull of him that's showing you the hits in his head. All right, let's go, baby. Where we at? Let me show them the little brother that rose up and finally beat him. This little brother rose up and finally beat him. Got their ass up out of ancient Kemet. He got their ass up out of ancient Kemet. Shout out Akhmos, man. Black power to Akhmos. Yeah, that's right. Akhmos got their ass up out of there. Hold on. Back then, black didn't mean what it mean now. Back then, black mean noble. Black mean noble back then. It didn't mean what it mean right now. When the adjective and pronouns and all this shit. Come on, man. Black meant noble back then. right? All right, but we didn't do all that in the ancient Kemet, right? With our language, we had a different level of understanding. All right, so Ogmos rose up. This right here, like a painting of him rising up and chasing these Canaanites, these Caucasians, these Frugaloids mixed out of ancient Kemet, because he ended up getting and then also what really made him mad is he was always messing with us. This dude, the Pappas from Memphis. He was always saying that he got pissed off about the hippo pun, right? He was mad at the hippos. The hippos was down. He mad at the hippos were down with us. And if he came down there messing with them twa, see the hippos protect the twa man. And if he came down there messing with the twa man, the hippos got on his ass. He couldn't cross. It was a pond that blocked these people land, and he couldn't get over there, right? He couldn't get over there because of those hippos, right? And so he complained and said that he heard hippos from 700 miles away. I'm hearing these hippos, they keeping me up all night. He sent a delegation of authority down to Sakenti Ray Tower. This right here before they killed him on the building part. He had already had them 3 ruffians scoping him out, laying on him. He had already had them 3 ruffians laying on him to hit him with the mallet 3 times, right? Just try to get the master's password so they could take it back to a Pappas, because he wanted to go up from fellow craftsman to master without even doing none of the work, right? So, and we wasn't gonna never get past. We only gave them 2 degrees to see what they'd do with it, right? And we see what they did with it so far. We only gave them 2 degrees to show them. Let's blow this so you can see it. But this is a hippo, and these hippos protect the twa man down in ancient Kemet. And it's also connected why this hippo is a sacred animal in ancient Kemet, and it's connected with the Dendoro calendar. And why the hippo, Big Mama, this hippo is connected with Big Mama, this Big Mama animal. This Big Mama's animal right here, the hippo, right? It goes all the way back. Big Mama protect the alligators and the hippos. That's why them people down in South Louisiana that's been killing them alligators, it's gonna be a hell to pay when it's time to make the judgment on this planet. Because those alligators are crocodiles and those hippos are sacred animals in ancient Kemet. And they protected the twa man. They kept the Hyksos from coming down and being able to take over ancient Kemet. Because if they would have took over that particular land that Ogmos was over, they would have been able to take over the next land after that, and then it would have just been like a chain domino effect. So Shah Cogmos was stopping the domino effect of the Hyksos coming in and taking over our land at that time, right? At that time. All right, so let's we'll talk about the hippos, right? So let's pull up a picture of Cogmos. I think I just seen him. It's like a statue of pain. He was a fall mixed with Ogmos and his brother. They were a fall mixed with Twa. And because their dad was a Twa, or their mother was a Twa, and their dad was a fall. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna show you the picture. Oh yeah, where's that picture of Ogmos? The little brother. Well, oh man, I thought I had it in here. Let's go to the internet. Oh yeah, they can't stop us, baby. We got the Michael Jordan fade, baby. We got the Michael Jordan fade, baby. Yeah, so here we go right here. So you know about Ogmos the First, he was the little brother of Cogmos, who Pappas sent the hitman to take out. Right? They end up getting to him because I'm gonna tell you why they got to him though. They really killed him because he was fighting on the front line with his people. He was fighting with them. You know what I'm saying? This dude was too little to fight. Right? He was a prince. He was too little to fight. But Cogmos was on the front line fighting, and he ended up getting killed when he fought on the front line. And they actually set him up. They knew that he was going to be fighting on the front line, so they actually targeted him, right, to take him out, and they got him. But he forgot about the little brother. The little brother, rising up and really pushing the Hyksos side of ancient Kemet. The little brother, right? And what we did is when we got them all, rounded them all up, Archmos and them got them around them all up. Right? Let me show you this picture because it's gonna tie in with what we're gonna say. Archmos tied them all up in ancient Kemet to get them up out of there, get them tricksters up out of there, take them back. Right? We blindfolded them. We cable towed them all together. We script them and searched them and made sure they ain't have no metals or nothing on them. And we rolled some of their pants later because we know anything about walking over sand. Sand can get anywhere. Sand can get in the crack of your ass. Sand will get in between your toes. Sand will get in your hair. Sand will get in your ears. Sand will get in your mouth, your nose, your eyes. Sand will get anywhere. Right? And so we told them to roll your pants leg up to help them out. Took their shoes so they can walk across the hot burning sand. Right? We cable told them, blindfold them. The reason why we blindfold them because we're going to walk them in circles so they wouldn't be able to find their way back to ancient Kemet. We walked them in circles all the way back to the Caucasus Mountains. And we cable told them all together, blindfold them. And then when they complained about their feet being burned, we said, all right, because keep in mind, they were goat herders. And so we took their goat with their ass. We let their goat go with their ass. So that's how you get in the Masonic order talking about riding a goat, right? We let them ride the goat when their feet was burning, across that burning sand. Check this out. I'm going to show you. We got their ass. We got their ass, bro. We got them, Hakeem. Let's produce a picture of them riding that goat, bro. These Hyksos riding that goat. Remember we told you the Yaku Freemasonry all that's connected. We were bringing that to you. Okay. Oh yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, they're trying to hide them pictures now. It's yeah man. This is one of them. Oh, yeah, riding they go. Look at all of them got them top hats on, like the damn planner, peanut guy. All right, so we might have to go to the internet to get this one because they didn't let me just do it. Oh yeah, so this was the riding the goat. Hold on just a second, baby. We bringing you right on into the thing. All right, so they riding the goat. Why is they riding this goat? Can somebody in the masonry explain why they use the goat? I can explain it to you. I can give you my perspective on it. Look at this. This dude feet right here red. Oh, let me save it so I can blow it up for you. Their feet was burning across that sand, so they had to get on that goat and ride. These Hyksos. We marched them across the burning sand. We cable towed them around their necks. We marched them across the burning sand. Back to the Caucasus Mountains. Right? Hold on, let me get this rolled up. Oh yeah, let's blow that up. See how his feet red and he's sitting on that goat? They were goat herders, these Hyksos. Look at the black hair. The Hyksos were Canaanites who had mixed with the Fugaloids. And then some of them came in the ancient Kemet and began mixing in with us. Is how you get the what you call them, what they call mulattoes. We're about to talk about them too. We're about to talk about the mulatto people who are really Nubians too. They're not really white folk, they mixed. All right, so they came in the ancient Kemet with their goats. They were goat herders. We herded their ass up out of there with their goats, right across the burning sand. Right, we herded their ass up out of there. Right up out, almost the first herded their ass right up out of ancient Kemet. But we didn't want them to be able to come back and find their way back. And we wanted to make sure they didn't run because we didn't feel like chasing those niggas through the desert. And some of them, if they wanted to run, sometime for amusement, we'll untie them and let them run after we get so far in the desert because we know they're gonna die. They ain't gonna make it with no water, no nothing. He'd be dead in 12 hours. The buzzards will be eating them on our way back. We'll see the buzzards eating that guy on the way back. So we let some of them go. That's for amusement. Right? Hold on, let me bring that picture back up for you. So you get an idea of what's happening here. And you think you going to your lodge and you think that you get some rare rituals. You get Hyksos, slave, Caucasian rituals. You ain't getting no real ancient Kemet. They cry for Amen-Ra rituals. We ain't give them but 2 degrees. Everything else they say is honorary studies. They say it's honorary studies. To 33 degrees, which is really still walking around like a dog. 90 degrees is square. Like a man. It's 360 degrees. It's square. Like a real man supposed to be. We might take a break on this one and come back on but we're gonna try to I might just let it go 2 hours. Forget I'm just gonna go and make this in one class. So I gotta do another class. I got a whole other class coming out at 12 o'clock. So this right here just the first class, but we want to just we're closing out on the Caucasian teachings, and but we just want to get all this in the archive. So even white people who think they white but they really niggas, check your blood type. If you O type, nigga, you ain't nothing but a nigga. If you're a white man, you got an O blood type, you ain't no damn, you say you white man as far as free white people, but you ain't no damn white man, you ain't nothing but a nigga, man. You a Negro. You albino. You think that you white power and all that, nigga. You can't even say white. If you got old blood type, I don't want to hear no damn white power coming out of your damn mouth no more. If you're a so-called white man and you saying white power, and you go to the doctor and they say you got old type blood, nigga, you ain't no damn white power, nigga. You black power, nigga. Wake your ass up. People, we don't want just the Nubians to wake up. We want everybody to wake the hell up. We need everybody to wake the hell up and get the truth, right? And all white folks don't come from monkeys. It's only one. It's just a species. The species that come from the monkeys, the Neanderthal type. It's the Neanderthal type that the Moors created in Argentina, and they had to take them people back over to Europe. So that's how another species of white people get in. But I think it's still stemming down from the draftation of Yakub's creation, because Yakub made these people continue that mixing. Right? That mixing after he died. And the Moors kept it on. Those people were Moors. The people that he was using were the Moors, were the Hindus, dark-skinned Hindus, Asiatic black men. Check that out. And a lot of us mixed with Hindus, so that's how we get that side. Let's show you. What else I want to show you? So he chased them out. We marched them across the sand. All right, pull this back up. This picture. Oh, yeah. We want to thank you for tuning in, Young Elder Gang. We going in. We going in, baby. We showing you the journey from Caucasus Mountains. All right, so this you see, they got his pants leg rolled up. He got a cable tow around his neck. We tied cable tows around him and tied them together. And we marched them in a line. And then we marched them in a circle. That's why when you go in a lodge, they put these blindfold on you, put a cable tow on you, and then they march you in circles around the lodge. And you come in contact with the different beings, like the senior warden, junior deacon, all these people that you go around in a circle. But that circle represents us marching their ass around in a circle in the desert with the blindfold on, so they can get confused on what way they going, east and west. To disorient you if you're going east or west. So they wouldn't know how to get back to ancient Kemet once we took them to where they was. They wouldn't even know where they were really. With the blindfold on and the cable tow and everything, they wouldn't even know where they were once we dropped them off. So so Arkmos now rounded these people up and tied them up like this, put the blindfold on them. And then the goat was with them because they goat herders. We just showed you that they rode the goat when their feet started burning. That's what they call going across the burning sand. So we took these people across the burning sand and we took them back to Caucasus Mountains in Russia. This area right here, we showed you, right? Bob Haynes talked about it. Right? So we drove them from this way. They Georgianians, right? This area, Caucasus Mountains. And the Canaanites were posted up in this area. These areas right here, these areas. And the Frigolords Lords had came to these areas. They was living in the caves underground, in the center of the earth. Well, not all the way in the center, but just in caves in this Caucasus Mountains. They were living in caves in these areas. And they came in and mixed in with these Canaanites, right, in Georgiana. So the Canaanites, let me take some of this out. They started mixing in this area. We drove them back to this area, back to the caves, right? We took the blindfold off, and then they went into the caves. Now we kept a military up to monitor these people and keep them over there in this area so they couldn't get out. That's why I talk about the devil being trapped for 1,000 years, right? Most of them locked them in there. That's the story. That's the really like the rituals they go through when they enter the lodge. It's the story of us chasing these Hyksos out of ancient Kemet back to the Caucasus Mountains. Now, over a period of time, being that they got trapped there and it was cut off from civilization, they and without education and all that, they digressed. They digressed in the Caucasus Mountains, down to walking on all fours. Right? They lost how to use fire. They didn't know nothing about no fire. So they had to eat their meat, bite right down into it raw. But to show you that. And still to this day, what our pictures is. Oh yeah, it's about to get interesting, y'all. Now we're about to get interesting. They hiding that picture. They hiding that picture. All right, let's pull up this one. This one will show you some. All right, so if you notice, when the Canaanites, when these people, these Hyksos, got took back into the mountains, they digressed. They didn't really know how to hunt and nothing like that. So their people died, and we killed a lot of people off, a lot of their leaders off. So when they went back and they got took to these Caucasus Mountains, they digressed. They didn't know how to bury their dead. They didn't know how to cook their food. They didn't know how to do none of the stuff they was doing in ancient Kemet. Even Bill, they had lost that over a certain generation. They had lost that. The little building that we did show them. And what they would just do is they didn't have fire, so they used to go out and just catch a rabbit and tear into his skin and then bite right down into him, eat him raw. And still to this day, they like their meat raw. They like their meat what they call rare. Let's pull that up. Let's pull it up when we say it, because you Nubians, they eat meat. Y'all can't eat your meat rare. It'll make you sick. It'll make you sick. Let's say this. Let's say this. Go to a restaurant with your partner, with your white partner, and see how he order his steak. If he order a steak rare, that's how you know he one of those Hyksos. But most Canaanites like eating a steak just like Nubians, like the one before the last one, I think. Like some Nubians like their stuff medium well and well done. That's what the Nubians eat. But the white folks like they steak rare, medium rare. They like medium or the top two. What they tell you about their genetics, and it don't make them sick. But if you Nubians try to eat raw, rare and medium rare, it'll make you sick. Let's blow that up. What they tell you about these people's genetics, if they can eat they meat raw, like that, like an animal, like a beast of the field. Like a beast of the field. A beast can eat his meat raw. You don't gotta cook it a little. They only want really, they just want really, they ain't even cooking the meat. They just warming it up. They warming it up just to get it where it's a little warm where they can get it down. You know what I'm saying? Nubians gonna go in there, they get their steak, they want their joint well done, man. Or they want their joint like medium rare, like with a little juice, a little juicy. But I want my shit cooked all the way though. Me, I like my shit at congratulations. If I'm gonna eat some steak, they gotta be congratulations. You gotta, I want that shit sped up all the way to the highest dimension you can get it in. Put that heat on to it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. All right, so that's another difference that you gotta look at. They eat their meat rare. You eat your meat well done. Why? Why? Because they was in Caucasus Mountains and they didn't warm their meat up and they got used. They over time, because you got to keep in mind DNA developed. DNA and mitochondrial DNA is an art of it's intelligence. It's universal intelligence. Mitochondrial DNA, and that DNA is the part about adaptation. It's the part that give you an adaptation to whatever environment and climate you in. The mitochondrial DNA records and make the adjustments to for your body type and everything over the generations of your family based on the area you in. That's what they was coming at the Prince York about. He was telling them about adaptation, and they were saying, "Oh, yeah, the niggas is coming out there," but they don't. These niggas don't know that mitochondrial DNA is living. It's alive. It's a spirit. It's a energy. It's recording. It's living. A living organism, and it's taking record of what you're doing right now, and it plays a part in your DNA. That's why they knew that smoking crack was going to affect our genetics. If they got everybody to smoke crack, it was going to affect our genetics. It was going to alter the way we look. Crack alters the way we look in some people. All right. So everything you do, even drinking alcohol, smoking, anything that you do affects your mitochondrial DNA, and it can be passed on to your kids, right? And so by them going and then having no fire in the Caucasus Mountains for years, hundreds of years, they fell away and started eating raw meat, and then over time, over hundreds of years, they genetics developed to where they could eat it. And their genetics was already conducive with eating it, going back to them having a B-type blood type. Because if you look up a blood type of a tiger, the blood type is B. Most carnivores' blood type is a B blood type, animal blood types. Go look up a tiger's blood type, it's B. The Hindu's blood type is B. A lot of Hindus' blood type is B. And these frugaloids were drafted out of the B type. And then you got the Canaanites who mixed in with them, right? But it's all tied in together about them eat. Go out and watch them order the steak. Watch what they order. Oh, I want it rare. Oh, I want it medium rare. I want it oozing with juice and blood. It's the blood. Also, they were performing different acts. We can't say the other word. It's sex. They're performing different acts in the caves because the vegetation over in Russia in the Caucasus Mountains, the vegetation and the animal life is very slim. So you got rabbits and things of that nature and deers. They was eating these people raw. They was eating these beings raw, man. Let me see if I got it loaded up. All right, hold up. Let me get that pulled back up for you. Oh yeah, Brokeback Mountain. All right, so also when they buried, when they went to Caucasus Mountain, let me get that map pulled back up. This how I'm gonna tell you how it became known as Caucasus Mountain. Okay, it wasn't called Caucasus Mountain then. Caucasus like Caucasus Asians. So what they're saying is these people are from the Caucasus Mountains and they from Asia, right? Caucasus Asians, right? Let me blow this map up a little bit. All right, man, we schooling your ass today, right? All right, so when they went in these mountains, the vegetation was very slim up here because there's a lot of ice right here, right? Being the way it's at on the equator, on the earth, right? It's an icy area. So the vegetation is slim. And so they couldn't feed when they had a baby, the food was so slim that sometimes they had to eat their babies, right? They was eating their babies. That's what they talk about the Israelites eating their babies. They talk about these people because they considered these people were trying to call themselves Israelites. The people that was eating their babies were these people, these Canaanites that were in the Caucasus Mountains who didn't have vegetation. And then once they said that we can't make more babies because we can't afford to feed them, so they started performing different sex acts other than doing regular sex acts like oral, anal. They loved it, and they loved the dead part. They loved the dead part. So that's where they come from. The anal and oral, all that shit come from right here in the Caucasus Mountains. Right? They come from right here in the Caucasus Mountains. Right? And also in ancient Kemet, they was doing a lot of experiments too with the sexual thing, right? They actually had a school on it in ancient Kemet. And this is one of the schools that Cleopatra went to when she schooled Caesar and knocked all that sugar out of his shoes, right? But right here, that's where they started it. These different things, and even with animals like the goat, they started doing their goats. The Hyksos started doing their goats, man, knocking their goats down, right? Bending their goats over, you know what I'm saying? Laying it down on their goats up in the Caucasus Mountains. It was a whole bunch of stuff, freaky stuff going off in the Caucasus Mountains, right? So they got down on their look, man. And they right here in this area, right? This area right here. They got down on their look. And they called Slavics the real slaves. Moors were never called slaves. Slavics. They come from this area. Let me show you a couple of pictures of them after we lifted them up. We're going to show you a couple of pictures of them. The Moors lifted them up. That's why they're dressing like the Moors over in that area now. And it's some black. They ain't gonna show you on that in that area I just showed you. It's Nubians living there too, and they Moors. It's Moors living in that land right there. These are the Moors that went up there to protect, that was living up there and blocking them into that area, trapping them in that area. All right. Come on, put that map back up one more time for you. I want to show you this part. Yeah, baby, we trying to get your ass schooled today. All right, so when we trapped them into the Caucasus Mountains, right? We put a barrier on them, like it really was lower than this. It really was like after you got Turkey, it was a barrier where we had Moors stationed there, and some of the Moors was lookouts right here in Georgia. So it's a lot of Nubians that's there right now in Georgia. That's the original Moors that were blocking these Canaanites from coming out of this land. Ancient Egyptians, you want to say too. It's a connection. So we was holding them now. Then some more, check this out. They was there for a long time, almost like 1,000 years, trapped in that area. Right? Hold on, we're gonna show you this. Oh yeah, I can't put that one up on there. That's gonna be too heavy. We're gonna put this one up on here. as we talk about the Moors. All right. Remember, I told you pimping ain't nothing new. Moors been had stables. Go get a book called Night in the Moorish Harlem. I got that book. Night in the Moorish Harlem. I got the Moors in Spain, the book called The Moors in Spain, the Moors after Spain, the Moors, the Black Moors. I got just about everything. I got all kind of shit on the Moors because that's who I'm studying who we are, right? All right. But this is out of the book called The Night in the Moorish Harlem. I got other pictures that I can't show because it got nudity pictures of showing how we was selling these people around the world. But I'm gonna break this down for you. You sleeping, Hakeem? I'm gonna break this down for you. I'm gonna go put Hakeem to sleep though. Hey, shout out Mark Cooper, man. Much love, brother. Real love, much love. All right, so this what happened. Okay, they was in that Caucasus Mountain. So the Moors started getting more land. The Moors is the one that brought the devil out and put them on everybody, man. They sick the devil on everybody. All right, so the Moors, now we fast forward up to the Moors having control of all this land. Let me show you. The Moorish Empire. See all the red area? The Moors had control of all this land. Through Mansa Musa and Abu Bakr, with all the gold changing hands. We're gonna get into that too. So they were rich. The Moors were rich people, and they could build boats and sail. All right, so they controlled all the red area. This is the British Empire, the Covenant Empire. What covenant? The secret covenant of the Afar people, the Williams, the Moors, who are the real rulers of the planet. The Sabines, who are the real rulers of the planet. We the Sabines. King George Williams was a damn Sabine. I could trace his bloodline back and show you. All right. From my mouse. All right. So since they had all this land, this is like hundreds of years later, after we trapped these people up in Caucasus Mountain, hundreds of years later, the Moors got a bright idea. We got all this land. We need to grow. We need to grow food and tobacco and different products so that we can sell it to everybody else and have some for ourselves. But we players, we got gold chains on. We rock gold chains. Niggas the same way they were, the Moors the same way they were now, back then. Niggas don't want to work, they want to wear gold chains and rock and call shots. Moors were calling shots. So what they did is they said, we gotta get us a slave, man. So we can have some people to work these mines. They had my gold mines, diamond mines, the Moors. And they said, we got to have some people to work these mines. We got to have some people to work these tobacco fields. They had the tobacco fields over in America. They had tobacco fields over in America in this red area. They said, we got to get some people to do this, man. We too lazy. But even before that, some freaky Moor decided one day, a little bit before that, man, I need to drop some, I need to lay some smoke sausages on something, man. I can't get nothing. But I know what I could do. I can go over to the Caucasus Mountains and I could kidnap one of those pale girls, I ain't gonna say the other word, and I can bring her back and make her a slave, like a pet, like a monkey. Like you see the monkey walking around on a damn with a leash around their neck. The Moors started kidnapped. They used to dressed up in hoods like the Ku Klux Klan. Check this out, man. I'm gonna fucking twist your cap off. Yeah, take your ball cap off right now. It's about to probably explode. Yeah. I gotta call you back. I'm live on a show. Yeah, so the Moors, some of the freaky Moors, dirty Moors, freaky. They really weren't dirty. Well, you say they were dirty. They gonna mess with the beast. Hey, but they freaky Moors, they end up going into Caucasus Mountain and start kidnapping the women. The Hyksos women and bringing them out of the cage. This is the first part. And if the men try to stop them from taking the women, they'll kill them. Right? So they was kidnapping these Caucasians from Caucasus Mountain, Caucasus agents. Now, I'm gonna get into the part why it was called. Let me tell you that part first before I go into the Moors kidnapping these people. Let me tell you why it was called Caucasus Mountains. All right, so when they got kicked out of ancient Kemet, right, and the tapes that I heard that Rob Hayes gave me was good. It added some information, but I didn't hear him talk about this. Why it was called Caucasus Mountains. You know, a carcass means a dead body or a dead carcass of an animal. It means a dead flesh, right? And it even makes reference of that in the Bible when it says, in that chapter we just talked about, 13 and 14, where it says that let her not be of the one who has the dead flesh, whose flesh is consumed. It's talking about the Caucasians, right? And it says she turned white. And then too, the reason why it was called Caucasus Mountains is because when the white people died, when the Hyksos died, they went back to this mountain. They didn't know how to bury their dead, so they didn't know to put them on the ground or put them in the tomb. So they just laid them on side of the mountain and let their body rot and let the buzzards eat their body, right? So the Moors, it started stinking and shit up there, right? It was real bad. It was carcasses. They was laying all their carcasses and they was dying from diseases and all that. So they was laying all their carcasses on Caucasus Mountain, and that's how it became known as Caucasus Mountain, because all the dead bodies that was on there. So we knew that if we didn't clean that up, it was going to be a plague that started. It was going to be a plague that started, and it probably could potentially be like an airborne plague that could get out and it could pollute the world. So we had to do something fast. So what we Moors did is we got one of our scientists together by the name of Imhotep, right? Of Sabians. We got our scientists together called Imhotep, and he created what you call a pig. A pig, right? Part rat, part dog, like Elijah Muhammad said. We created the pig, and we sent the pig, which a pig, if you know anything about pigs, I used to raise hogs. My granddaddy raised hogs. If you know anything about a pig eat anything. I don't give a damn. He eat your shoe if you put slop on it and throw it up in there. One of my boots got ate by a damn pig. A pig can eat a dead body. A pig can eat anything you throw in there if you put a little honey on it for him. So we got the pig together and we sent them up into Caucasus Mountains to eat the dead bodies that was all on Caucasus Mountains. So we turned them loose wild. We turned these pigs loose wild and we genetically engineered them to eat anything. And then they was up there eating all of the dead carcass on Caucasus Mountains. And then after we got the pigs to clean everything off, once they ate shit, we sent them off a cliff. Remember when they said Jesus sent these swine off a cliff? And that's why we told you don't eat swine, because they eat human flesh back then. They probably, because they have them doing it now, but they was eating human flesh back then. That's why we said don't eat the pig, right? And then what we would do after they got through eating the dead bodies, we would drive them off a cliff. We would drive them off a cliff. We didn't eat them. We would drive them off a cliff. And then we sent Moors in, Sabians, sent Moors in, right, to clean them up. And we had to show them a temporary thing on how to bury their dead. So the first thing we taught them is how to they start laying their dead on the ground and then piling, or dig like a little small hole, lay them in there, and then cover it with rocks. So if you go back to some of the old grave sites over in the Caucasus Mountains, you'll see that they cover with rocks. They probably don't got no area to locate it, but you'll see the rock piles all over the Caucasus Mountains. And that's where people were buried at, because they didn't know how to bury their dead. It's the first thing we taught them, to clean in the mountains up, right? And then, so they were doing it. So eventually, like I said, we're going back to the Moors, starting to come in after they clean these people up, start cleaning these people up, shaving them and things, showing them different things. They started to say that they look fair. The sons of God
said that these women looked fair. She looked pretty good. I mean, I could probably knock that down after I shaved her up and shit. You know what I'm saying? We got all shaved up. We could probably knock some of them down. So some more got the bright idea. At first, it wasn't about pimping it. It was just about them getting a freaky thing off. You know what I'm saying? These freaky moves. It's about these freaky moves at first. They'd get these white women, bring them out, clean them up, fix them up, and bring them into a outer house that they had, because these were wealthy Moors. The Moors that were doing this were wealthy Moors. And a lot of them, they weren't actually doing it themselves. They had people, other Moors who were herders, going to Caucasus Mountain, kidnapping the women and bringing them and selling them. They were selling these women to these rich Moors. So the rich Moors started building these stables where they had all these white girls where they can go in there and they can just get their freaky thing on. And then once they got so many, they started letting their cousins and homeboys come to their little outhouse or side house and sleep with their girls, with their slave girls they had took from Caucasus Mountains. Right? And then sometimes these girls would do such a good job because they had all this freaky stuff from Caucasus Mountains that I told you about. And they was turning get some of these Moors out and making them like it, and making them like it up the back. Some of them Moors went to homosexual guys because these Caucasian women who had to experiment up in the mountains by going up in the, you're saying, you know what I'm talking about, can't say too much. They turning some Moors out too, these rich Moors. Now, what happens is, over time, certain beings started coming there, and they was giving these women tips. They was giving these women tips when they invite their homeboys, because they was liking them. They was falling in love with these different women, and they were giving them tips. So the head of the house, which is like the pimp back then of the Mac, he would come in and say they got the money, and we always took the money from them, like we took them from them when they marched across the burning sand, right? So he would already take all the money, because like, y'all both have nothing, you a slave. He didn't want them to have nothing to where they can escape or do nothing crazy or go to somebody else or something. So he'd take all the money from them, make sure they didn't have no money. So all the money they would make from all these tips, they would give it to the head dude that was the Moor of the house. This is how the pimping started. Go read the book called Night in the Moorish Harlem. So this is how the Moors pulled them out the caves, and women first. And then some of these Moors started falling in love with these women and getting them pregnant. And this is how the mulattoes come about. Right? This is how the mulattoes, right? Mulatto Moors. Right? The mulatto Moors. This is how the mulattoes come about. These mulattoes start inheriting some of the rich, because these were rich Moors, these mulattoes start inheriting some of the wealth of these Moors due to them mixing in with these women they are pulling out of the caves. And these Moors were really pimps. And then once they saw how much money they was getting off of the Harlem, like you got 25 of these Caucasian women out the caves, right, in your stable, and you got niggas coming there every day, all day, spending money, and you collecting the money. This where Hugh Hefner is he's a damn Canaanite. He's a Canaanite Moor from the Irish bloodline. And then so all these people that got these Harlems is coming down from the Moors. Then they start dressing like this with the chain, the earring, the players, they players, right? And it started a business to where now they making money off of pimping. This is what pimping started at. Pimping started with the Moors taking Caucasians out of the Caucasus Mountains, the women, and they started sleeping with them at first. And then once they hot partner sleep with them, and they partner started giving them tips, they say, oh, we can make money off of this. And it started a whole business. Now, once they saw they was making money off of it, this started a whole race. See how he got his earring right there? You niggas ain't wearing nothing new when you got an earring in your lip and your nose and all that. These niggas had that already. You can say he one of them guys that got turned out by the Caucasian chick, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was certain tribes that wore that earring too. But they started making a lot of money off of them. So this started the race once they saw how rich certain Moors was getting. They had these Caucasian women. Now all Moors want, all the rich Moors want to set up and start taking these white women and start buying them. So they started going to the caves. It started like a race, like a gold rush for Caucasian chicks to get them out of the mountains and bring them out so they could clean them up, shave them up, wash them up, to make them and make some money off of them, like a cattle. They were the first slave girls, sex girls, all it, sex slaves, all it back in the day, during the Moors rise. So the Moors were doing this. The first pimping started over with the Moors, right? And so that led up to them mixing in, right? And then the children, like I said, which became known as the mulattoes, like Queen Isabella, who took over Granada, she was a mulatto. A lot of people were mulattoes back then that was in rulership because of the rich, wealthy Moors leaving stuff to their children, or they being part of that bloodline of the rich, wealthy, raw Moors. So some of these, when these Canaanites or these Figueroas or these Hyksos start mixing in with the Moors, you got a whole nother species now, the mulattoes. I'm about to take a break on that, man, because I think we've been going for about an hour and a half. We're going to take a break and we'll come back in about an hour or 30 minutes. We're going to have to come back on this one. So we're going to be able to do a part 2 to Journey from Caucasus Mountains. So we're going to come up, take a break. I got to put my baby to sleep, give me some water, take me a little break, call my wife back real quick. This is coming. All right, so peace and love. We'll be back in about an hour, man. Wadu.